Hi everyone, my name is Ninju Bijali. I'm from the Informatica Global Customer Support. In this video, we will see how to change the Blaze Logs location in Informatica BDM 2. Topics that we will be covering in this video: configuration to change the Blaze Logs location, Blaze Logs in the local file system of the data nodes, Blaze Logs in HDFS, and how to quickly verify the logs location from the runtime logs like the mapping log and the Blaze Grid Manager application log. From Informatica BDM version 10.1 onwards, the Blaze configuration can be modified from the Hadoop connection. For versions prior to 10.1, the properties were available in the Hadoop env.properties file. Hadoop connection can be modified either from the Informatica admin console or from the developer tool. And Hadoop connection holds specific sections for Hive pushdown configuration, Spark configuration, and Blaze configuration. Blaze configuration advanced properties allows you to modify values like the log locations, the log severity level, log file count, and size. Blaze logs are available in local file system of the data nodes as well as on the HDFS in the cluster. Blaze logs are distributed in two different folders named service logs and taskless logs. Service logs include the logs for the various Blaze services like the Blaze Grid Manager service, Orchestrator service, Data Exchange service framework, and the data DTM processes. On the other hand, the tasklet folder includes the logs for each tasklet corresponding to the Blaze mappings. The Blaze logs will be written to HDFS only after the job is complete or the Blaze Grid Manager is stopped. If you want to review the Blaze logs when the job is running or when the Blaze Grid Manager is running, we can view it from the local file system. So which properties can be modified to control the Blaze log location on the local file system and on the HDFS? This is a screenshot of the Hadoop connection Blaze configuration advanced properties session from admin console. The property named infa.cal.hadoop.logs directory determines the location of Blaze logs on the HDFS. Similarly, infagrid.node.localRoot.log directory determines the location of Blaze logs in the local file system on data nodes. If these properties are not available in the Hadoop connection, we can manually add these properties to modify the values of Blaze log locations. And two things that we have to consider while modifying these values are the Blaze user or the Yarn user should have write permissions on these folders. And also we need to ensure that the local file system folder used for the Blaze logs are available across all the nodes in the cluster. By default, once the Blaze mapping completes, the corresponding logs are uploaded to HDFS and the logs are cleaned up from the local file system. The Blaze service logs are very huge and it can grow in size with time. So we have to be careful while choosing the location for the Blaze logs. And there are properties by which we can limit the size of the Blaze logs on the local file system. The properties, namely InfraGrid Service Log File Count and InfraGrid Service Log File Limit MP, can be used to limit the count and size of the Blaze log files on the local file system. By default, 10 files of up to 100 MB are persisted on the local file system. As mentioned earlier, by default, the Blaze logs in the local file system are cleaned once the logs are uploaded to HDFS. But even this behavior can be modified using a Blaze configuration. InfraGrid delete local log property determines whether the Blaze logs on the local file system has to be persisted or cleaned up. By default, the value is true. If we modify this value to false, the Blaze logs on the local file system will be persisted even after uploading to the HDFS. One thing that we have to keep in mind while modifying the value to false is that the files can grow in size and can affect the data node operations. So please ensure that the logs are cleaned up regularly if you are setting this value to false. The Blaze logs on the HDFS are not deleted on its own. Even the Blaze logs on the HDFS folders need to be cleaned up manually on a regular basis. There is another way to fetch the complete Blaze Grid Manager application log, that is using the yarn logs command. Once you identify the Blaze Grid Manager application ID from the yarn RM UI or from the mapping log, we can use the yarn logs command to fetch the complete Blaze Grid Manager application log in text format. And there will be instances where when you want to shut down the Blaze Grid Manager application in order to fetch the logs from the HDFS. And how can we shut down the Blaze Grid Manager application from the DIS machine? We can use the infacmd dis stop Blaze service command to stop the Blaze Grid Manager from the DIS server machine. And this way, we need not have access to the yarn RM UI or to the cluster nodes in order to stop the Blaze Grid Manager application. Once this command completes, the complete Blaze service logs will be uploaded to the HDFS. And later, we can use the HDFS copy to local command to download the HDFS logs to the local file system by logging into any of the edge node or data nodes. Now this is a sample Blaze Grid Manager application log entries which tells the exact location of Blaze logs in the local file system of the data nodes. So the log will be written on the local file system on the data node where the Blaze Grid Manager is running. And if the Blaze user does not have right permissions to create the folder, you will find a warning message like this in the Blaze Grid Manager application log. This permission issue will not cause the job or the Blaze Grid Manager application to fail. The process and the application will continue to run after logging a warning message in the Blaze Grid Manager application log. These are some excerpts from the Blaze mapping which specifies the location of Blaze logs in the local file system and the HDFS. The first highlighted location represents the Blaze logs location on the local file system. The Blaze tasklet logs can also be accessed via the tracking URL, the Blaze monitor URL. That is also one of the easiest way to quickly verify the error messages on why a particular tasklet failed. The last highlighted location in the log shows the HDFS folder where the Blaze logs will be available. You can quickly search for the word aggregated logs in the mapping log to find the exact HDFS location where the Blaze logs will be aggregated. These are some reference to KB articles which will help you to download the Blaze logs and also some steps to change the Blaze log location as we discussed in this video. We would love to hear from you. Please feel free to share your valuable feedback and comments by writing an email to us at supportvideos@informatica.com and please follow us in Twitter. Thank you and have a great day.